Coming up tonight on Now, Senator Collins says she voted yes on that tax bill because it would help more Mainers. We're verifying how accurate her statements are on that. Plus, the World Health Organization says video games do in fact impact your mental health. We'll have more on that. And the cold may be the perfect time to reorganize your life. This is News Center Now. People all over the country are trying to figure out if they're a winner or a loser under the new tax laws. But Senator Susan Collins says there are Mainers who stand to benefit. Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Hill.
And I'm Chris Costa. In an op-ed to the Portland Press-Herald, Senator Susan Collins listed 3 types of families that will receive a tax cut. A single mother with 1 child who earns $35,000 would get nearly $1,100 back. A couple in Maine with no children who earn $60,000 would see their taxes fall by more than $900. And a couple with 2 children earning $60,000 would get a tax cut of about $1,700.
We went to a certified public accountant to verify those numbers.
At this accounting firm, the rush is on.
This year is even more crazy because of the changes.
Eric Purvis is a tax expert and says Senator Susan Collins' examples written in an op-ed about the new tax plan are accurate, but not perfect.
Those are very specific scenarios, so not everybody is going to see those tax savings.
A single mother with 1 child making $35,000 a year should save $1,100 in taxes. Purvis crunched the numbers.
So the biggest change is the increase in the child tax credit from going from $1,000 to $2,000. So that taxpayer is going to see a $1,000 tax benefit.
And so Susan Collins' claim in her article is accurate.
That's correct.
For a couple with no kids making $60,000, Purvis says the decrease in tax rates and increase in standard deduction will benefit them.
Their income taxes are going to go from $4,900 to $3,900 for a savings of $1,000.
Again, Collins' claim is correct. For a couple with 2 kids making $60,000, again, the child tax credit is a big win.
And that's where they're seeing the biggest tax savings. So their tax savings, net tax savings from one year to the other is about $2,000.
Another check mark on Collins' claim. However, Purvis says these examples don't take into account itemized deductions like property taxes or excise taxes on cars.
And that doesn't fit the fact pattern for a lot of taxpayers. People who own their homes are going to deduct their home mortgage interest. They're going to deduct property taxes, the real estate taxes that they pay. Those people are not the people in the examples that Susan Collins laid out.
Someone who deducted those taxes in the past could have ended up with a lower taxable income than those who had used the standard deduction.
So in the past, that might have been a sizable deduction for a lot of taxpayers. Going forward, that's only going to be $10,000.
Purvis says that new $10,000 cap on state income and property taxes, combined with the new standard deduction, the loss of personal exemptions, and the decreased tax rates, could make it a wash.
So those two kind of offset each other, but you may have a taxpayer whose tax is not going to change at all as a result of all these tax changes.
Purvis says every person's situation is unique based on the number of kids they have, if they own property, and their income. So really you won't know if you're a winner or a loser until you sit down and fill it out. But now that you know what to expect, hopefully you won't be surprised come tax season.
And since you did all the research on this, are you planning to do all of our taxes now this year?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But basically,
had to ask.
You have to ask. No, the accountant said that in general, most people should benefit from it. So there's some good news. Painful topic, though. Let's move to another painful topic. We talked taxes, and now we're talking about the bitter cold.
Do we have to? Jess Conley's here. She doesn't have much good news.
I don't. It's like a trend for me lately, unfortunately. Temperatures are just awful out there. Look at the wind chills. These are the actual air temperatures right now. 5 below in Millinocket. They look like wind chills, right? Most of us below 0. But it's even colder. Right now it's 11 below in Greenville. It's 5 above in Portland, but again, it is feeling much colder out there. Okay, this is the temperature change from the same time last night. So again, this only takes into account the actual air temperature, not the wind speed. But as you can see, many of us are colder. If you're in northern Maine, you're a couple degrees warmer, but many of us even colder than last night. So some pretty bitter temperatures out there. Here are the wind chills. 35 below is what it feels like right now in Greenville. It feels like 28 below in Millinocket. Even in Bangor, 23 below. Portland, it feels like 6 below. Lewiston, it feels like 16 below. It's going to stay cold overnight tonight. Many of us have wind chill warnings and advisories. Again, we'll look at those in just a minute. But skies are clearing out, so we will be able to see temperatures possibly even drop a little bit more, and the wind chills are going to feel very chilly. Wind chill warnings in effect again for the areas shaded in the blue-gray. Wind chill advisories in effect for the areas shaded in the lighter blue. Guys, back to you.
All right, Jess, thanks so much. Yeah, it's cold enough to want to stay inside. You know, and if you got your kids any presents, maybe video games, that's one of those popular ones over the holidays. However, this week, the World Health Organization made an announcement that suggests too much gaming could be bad for your mental health.
The WHO wants to add excessive video gaming disorder to a draft version of its 11th update to the International Classification of Diseases. This would classify it as a mental health disorder.
News Center's Tennyson Coleman talked to some people today who say their use of video games almost ruined their lives.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your video game addiction?
It's something that was really easy and quick to make me feel better about what was going on with my life.
How often did you play video games?
God. The one that got me in trouble, I would wake up in the morning, check the forums, see how the world was, like it made a difference, and then I'd go to work and think about it. I'd play at work a little bit on lunch when no one was looking. I'd get home, devour my dinner, throw my daughter in bed, and just sit down and play, God, from 7 p.m. till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I do this every day.
How did it affect your relationships with your wife, your kids, just people in general?
This close to divorce.
Because of
the game. I received an ultimatum, and rightfully so, because I had obviously made an external appearance of a decision that I was going to play video games and not care about my family. And it took, you know, my wife bringing it right to my face saying, you're going to lose everything in real life that you love if you don't put this video game down.
How long did it really take for you to change your behavior?
I stopped playing video games for a while. It took me about a year or so.
But you made that decision on your own. You never received any medical attention or help for your addiction. So what do you think, how do you think it will benefit people like you now that this looks like it will be added to a list of mental health disorders?
I think with the WHO classifying this as a mental disorder, I feel that at least now people can have a chance of talking about it with their doctors or their psychiatrists, psychologists, one, without feeling embarrassed, and two, without worrying about someone, you know, kind of snickering and chuckling on the other end. Because, you know, when people come in for addiction, you think opiates, coke, drugs, alcohol, the casino. You don't think sitting on your couch in front of a TV is that bad. I mean, people do it every day.
We reached out to the World Health Organization and asked why they are proposing to add video gaming disorder to the new list of mental disorders. A representative said it is because use of the internet, computers, smartphones, and other electronic devices has dramatically increased over recent decades. While the increase is associated with clear benefits to users, health problems as a result of excessive use have also been documented.
A lot of you weighed in on Facebook today. Brian says he knows what it's like to spend too much time playing video games, but he did it to escape an unhappy life. When he made big lifestyle changes, he was able to put the games away and be happy. So Brian, thanks for sharing that story. Then Douglas says he sees video games as a hobby or a way to relieve stress. He doesn't see it as a mental disorder. Susan says it's all about balance. She says her son can't play games until his homework is done, and she and her husband often play with him, so it's kind of like family time. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Tell us what you think right now on our Facebook live stream. A retailer for tweens is pulling makeup from the shelves because the products may contain asbestos. A mom in Rhode Island sent her daughter's glitter makeup kit to an independent lab. The scientists there detected cancer-causing asbestos. Further tests found the same substance in several other products from across the country. Claire says they've yanked the products until they can conduct a full investigation.
The Alabama election officials certified Democrat Doug Jones as the winner of the Senate seat special election, despite a last-minute challenge by Republican Roy Moore. This morning, Moore filed a lawsuit alleging voter fraud. A judge dismissed his lawsuit, and soon after, election officials declared Jones the official winner because Moore never conceded. The election results weren't set in stone until a ruling by the canvassing board.
41 people were killed by suicide bombers at a cultural center in Kabul. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack, but officials say they have no evidence to support that. The Shiite Muslims gathered in the basement of the building to mark the anniversary of the Soviet Union invasion of Afghanistan. At least 80 others were injured in the bombing.
Puerto Ricans had no idea when their power was coming back, so one man wanted to give them the information they desperately needed.
Already started my Facebook profile, basically giving that information to the public.
How he's using social media to keep the island informed. The next episode of Puerto Rico Rises coming up.
When we're in Storm Center mode, we know how much our viewers rely on our apps, our website, Facebook updates. That instant on-demand information not only makes lives easier, but it can help keep people safe.
In Puerto Rico, thousands of people are in the dark. Literally because their electric grid is destroyed, and metaphorically because they aren't getting important updates.
On today's episode of Puerto Rico Rises, we meet someone who took on that responsibility, letting his neighbors know when the power will come back.
Can you walk me through what Hurricane Maria was like for you personally? Those first few hours and the aftermath?
I actually spent the hurricane with my wife on another apartment complex, and it was because, well, I live in a 15th floor and it's just too high. And Hurricane 5, I was actually afraid for her because she's pregnant.
This is Jorge Bracero. He works for the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority and was one of the first people on the ground in the immediate aftermath of Hurricane Maria.
And working for the power company, you knew that there'd be a tough road ahead. Yeah. What did the immediate aftermath look like for you?
It was worse than I imagined. It was worse than I could ever conceive. As soon as I saw the first light poles that were made from concrete, you know, that's supposed to withstand so much power, and they exploded. They weren't. Most of them weren't even toppled. They were just blown up from the middle in two sections of it. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, this is not normal. What happened? And I just kept driving and driving, and everywhere I went, it was the same story. The poles were completely, utterly destroyed, and that just made it worse.
Not only was Bracero one of the first people to realize Maria's devastating effects on the island's power grid, he also had a firm understanding on what it'd mean for Puerto Rico in the long term.
We have approximately 800 transmission towers. We lost around 680.
Two-thirds?
A little bit more, yeah.
A little more than two-thirds of the towers destroyed.
Yeah.
What has that done to, you know, getting power back online for the island? I mean, what?
It's been brutal. It's been brutal because, again, most people don't understand the magnitude of what happened.
To combat the misinformation, Bracero started a Facebook page publishing inside information from the power company about the reality of the situation. The power was coming back, slowly but surely.
I had already started my Facebook profile, basically giving that information to the public, just to try to counteract what was being given.
Misinformation.
Yeah, it was just too much. I have to keep doing this because there's interest and people need to know. So until then, until it just collapses on its own or the emergency has passed, I'll just keep doing it.
For previous episodes of Puerto Rico Rises, visit our website or check out our mobile apps. Just click on the Now section.
Are you bored at home? We have a suggestion for you.
Closets would be a great thing to tackle this week.
You could clean, and it won't be as bad as you might think. A professional has some great tips coming up.
And if you're thinking, nah, I'd rather go out, Jess Conley's frigid forecast might change your mind. That and more coming up. It's the holidays, and with so many people home from work and school this week, preventing boredom can be a challenge.
And when it's this cold out, who wants to go outside? Donna Hall is the creator of Organize Me, and she says now is the time to stay inside and declutter your space.
This is a great week for that weird limbo week between Christmas and New Year's. The first step is sorting, purging, and categorizing the stuff. One fun tip that I do myself is I'll take all the kitchen gadgets and throw them in a box with a date. And as the year progresses, I will take out the things I need and put them back in my drawer as I use them. At the end of the year, I'll see the date, and whatever hasn't made the cut back into my drawer is out of there. Closets would be a great thing to tackle this week, especially a clothes closet, a coat closet. So this is my closet. My space is limited, so this is what I have to work with. And for me, I'm very visual. I like to see everything I have. I have pants on one side, and then as the shirts, we go from sleeveless to short sleeve to 3/4 to long, and it's organized by colors. Things that were questionable, I hung backwards, and I'll know to check in next time I do the little switch of the clothes. If I haven't worn these, they're leaving. So here, I like to organize the shirts by color. Again, keeps me in check as to how much I have of a certain type. It's easier to file because then you can see them all. Get rid of the old towels and sheets that I probably have seen better days, and animal shelters could use those. With the holiday just passing, people probably acquired a bunch of new gifts and don't know where to put them, so this is a great opportunity. Put one away, take one out, and let it out the door.
All right, so if you want more tips and tricks like this, or you have a question, make sure you send it to us. Comment now on our Facebook live stream or email us at asknow@WCSH6 or WLBZ2.com.
Those were some really helpful tips. So you were saying you organize your dresses.
I try to organize my dresses in color order because sometimes you feel like a bright, sometimes you don't. So
Like today.
That's interesting, though. Look at you.
I like those little tips. Those are good. We could use those for sure in our weather office. There's 5 people in that one little office.
You made a joke about our closet over here. We have kind of a little side closet.
Right.
We broke it.
We did. We broke the whole rack, and I will take a lot of responsibility for that. It's just easier to leave your clothes here. All right, let's talk about what you should be wearing for clothes. Lots and lots of layers. It has been so cold out, and look at the current wind chill. Still feels like 35 below in Greenville. Augusta, it feels like 12 below right now. Rockland, even at the coast, 13 below is what it feels like. Bar Harbor, 17 below. Once you get to about 20 below with the wind chill factored in, frostbite can set in under 30 minutes for any exposed skin. So dress very warm, lots of layers, and make sure you cover your face and your skin as much as possible if you're headed outdoors. I know I've said it a million times. I'll probably say it a million more by next week. Current winds right now about 5 to 10, up to 15 miles an hour. So of course that's not helping the temperature. And some gusty winds in some spots, gusting to 25 to 30 miles an hour at times. And that is of course making it feel much cooler. Overnight tonight, very similar to last night. Wind chill warnings in effect for the areas in this kind of blue-gray color. Wind chill advisories in effect for the areas in the lighter blue-green color. What that means is overnight tonight, if you're under this color here, the wind chill could drop to as low as 25 below zero. Farther inland in the mountains and higher elevations as low as 40 below zero. Overnight tonight and through tomorrow morning. Again, just a repeat of what we had today. Skies not too clear off to our west, but there is a large area of high pressure that's just continuing to cause those winds to come out of the north or northwest, and that is filtering in all the cold air. We had some clouds around today, and you're still seeing some out there. Clouds are good once we get into the evening hours because that at least helps to try to keep us a little bit warmer. Although for most of us it will fall below zero as we go through the overnight hours tonight. This is a look at your overnight lows. 12 below in Bangor tonight, again even cooler with the wind chill. 4 below in Portland and around 4 below for our overnight low tonight in Rockland. Going through the overnight hours, again into tomorrow morning, most of us waking up with very chilly temperatures. We will see some sunshine tomorrow early, and then clouds increase, and it looks like we'll see a couple flurries possible as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Saturday, yet another cold day. Highs should be able to make it into the low to mid-teens for the day on Saturday. Look at these temperatures, well below normal. Usually we're at 34 degrees, but of course we're staying below normal. Next chance will be next Thursday for us to at least kind of warm up a little bit. Again, cold air in place with that jet stream well off to our south. You can see on Wednesday it tries to warm up, and then we're watching the potential for a storm on Thursday. So here's your extended forecast again Temperatures just staying on the cool side all through the weekend into early next week. New Year's Eve, Sunday into Monday. Temperatures away from the coast will drop down into the negative teens. So overnight, again, it's going to be very chilly. Even at the coast, we'll fall into the negative single digits for New Year's Eve. So if you are out and about, bundle up. Really warm, 20s by Wednesday and then 30s by Thursday. But we're watching the potential for a snow event on Thursday. So too early to talk about amounts, but keep an eye on it.
Meanwhile, let's just focus on how cold it's going to be
instead. All right, sounds good.
Call me a baby. I would rather stay home and hang out with friends than like go out on New Year's Eve.
I think that makes you an adult, not a baby.
I'm curious what you guys think. Comment right now on the Facebook live stream if you guys are going out for New Year's or staying in. You can let us know. Obviously, after the New Year's Eve celebrations, 1, probably the hangover, and then 2, making resolutions, hopefully to not have a hangover anymore. So if you need help deciding on a resolution for 2018, guess what? There's an app for that. All week we've been hearing tips from Gretchen Noonan. She's a healthy eating and exercise program coordinator for the organization Let's Go. She says there's a number of great smartphone apps out there to help you stay on track, and there are 2 specifically to help with weight loss goals.
If you're looking at making a nutrition change, there's one called Foodducate. You can scan barcodes and you can get a quality rating on your food. It can help you track what you're eating. There's also the 7-Minute Workout is a really great app. So if you aren't getting a lot of activity, you might want to try to do the 7-minute workout 3 days a week, and that's your goal.
Remember how much fun jumping jacks were when you were a kid?
Yes.
And now they're awful. They're absolutely awful.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, if you're still feeling like you don't know what to pick for a resolution, Noonan is sharing 4 small steps you can start taking now, tomorrow on News Center Now.
But your healthy lifestyle doesn't have to start until the new year, right? So coming up at 5:30, we look at how you can party the night away on the 31st and wake up in 2018 without a hangover.
Oh, go on. Also ahead of the next half hour, Mainers are turning up the heat, which means oil companies have to work overtime. Those stories and more coming up.
Oh boy, millennials everywhere are mourning the loss of a shipment of avocados. This was the scene in Texas when a truck full of avocados caught on fire. The poor fruits never even had a chance to go on toast. Oh. Firefighters had to get around the 40,000 pounds of avocados to safely put out the fire, and as you can imagine, it caused a massive traffic backup.
Yeah, we saw the video of that. Clearly our millennial producer wrote that script, who eats avocado toast all the time.
Love avocados, but not sad to see them burn, I guess.
Fair enough. Put some bacon on it, she says. All right, News Center at 5:30 starts right now.